Hi, namaste, and good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want to hear it loud. Good morning, everyone. Yes. So today I'll be sharing about my journey. And every time I come here in Chennai, there is a different learning altogether. And today I learned from not just one mentor, two mentor, but this time I learned from 1200 mentors. I learned from your dreams. Thank you so much. You all must have seen the slides before, and you must have known a bit about the journey that I've done. What do you think? Was it easy? Was it easy? No? How many yes? How many yes? No yes? Okay, let's decode it. I was born in this island village. You can see this is an island village. This is known as Boilis Moja. So it is basically a group of 42 villages where I was born. And I was born in this village which name is Baral. I was born there, just like any other village kid out there. I was studying in a village school there, just like you guys. I too have dreams, but I don't know how. I don't know how to actually achieve it, but yes, I have dreams. I have some small dreams, I have some big dreams. When I started the entire journey, I see a lot of issues, a lot of problems there in village. But when I got out from this village, I went to Bhopal. My father was a head constable, Havaldar in CRPF. So I got out from this village to Bhopal. And there I see a lot of good things. People with good dress, good attire. People in cars. People in good buildings. Everything has changed. When I went to Bhopal, I was just thinking around, what happened to the other kids out there who are still there in villages? And when I went to Bhopal, I went to a school. I couldn't speak in Hindi, or in fact, I couldn't speak in English. I just know only one language, that is Odia. So when I went to this place, I couldn't communicate with people. I was sitting somewhere in the last bench. I was just escaping from everyone. I don't want to communicate. I don't want to talk at all. But when I went to Bhopal, I couldn't get into good schools also, because it needs an entrance exam where you have to communicate in English. I don't know English. How could I be a part of that school? But eventually what happened is, as a kid, I want to play. I love to play. I always want to be a creator. That was my first dream. I want to be a creator. I don't know what, but I want to be a creator. You must be asking, how do you know you want to be a creator? So every dream of me has a purpose. And how do you come out with the purpose that I want to be a creator? When I was a kid, I used to travel using my bicycle, and I was to play with it. So the issue with bicycle is, if you guys are traveling in bicycle, you must be knowing that every 2-3 months, you have to tighten the chain because it gets slacked. I also have this problem with my bicycle. And one fine day, I thought of, why not you find a solution for it? So I took the problem as a challenge and tried to figure out how could we do something so that we can tighten this chain. I went to a bicycle shop. I took a small gear, the rear gear of the bicycle. We fixed it in between the chains, and we made an arrangement so that you can tighten it every time instead of going through the entire process of tightening a chain. This was for the first time when I believed in my ideas, when I believed, yes, I can also do it. this is something, I can also do it. But I couldn't express it to anyone, that I am a creator, I can do it. I couldn't express, but that was still in me. Next event happened was when I was there in Bhopal. After a year or two, I learned English. I learned Hindi also. I could communicate with people. But eventually what happened is, one fine day I was just roaming around in the CRPF campus. And on the notice board it was written, CRPF Campus Planning Competition. I got stuck. This is something I want to do. This is something for me. But when I read the entire thing, it was only for high schoolers. I was in class 6. It was only for high schoolers and for bachelor students. I went to the organizers. I requested them if I can also take part on this. They said yes. Yes, you can also take part. You're a little kid, you want to take part, you take part. The first thing that happened to me was, it was a fear. All will be high schoolers, all will be bachelor students. How could I participate? What happened next is, I went on to plan the entire thing. Instead of a PPT, I told I will create an entire plan. So I created an entire miniature of the entire CRPF campus. Right from the gates to buildings to everything. The problem was, I didn't have enough resources. So I couldn't use anything. So what I have to do is, I have to go to the junk, find out something so that I can place it here. For instance, if I want to show that there is a sewage management system or a dustbin management system, so how do I show it? I took the ball pen, not the 1 rupees, 2 rupees one, the 5 rupees and 10 rupees one. The rear part of the ball pen, if you can open it, it looks like a small miniature dustbin. So that was my dustbin. So just like that, I made the entire CRPF plan. The next question was, the plan is there. How could I take it to people? I have to also explain that. I know Hindi, I know English, but I don't know how to speak in stage. So the first time when I went to stage, I was like this. यार ये नहीं हो सकता, I can't do it. But something from within came, if I've reached this height, this is a very small thing, I can do this. This conviction came inside me and I started telling. For the first time when I gave the presentation, I was just looking onto my board and speaking everything. This is this, this is this, this is this, this is what I've made. And for the first time I felt happy that I have made something and I have presented something. It doesn't matter what the result is. I was so happy that day that I want to become a creator and I have created this thing. This is during my high school days. Then came the award ceremony for the same competition. I was sitting somewhere. ठीक है, देखेंगे क्या होगा. I am happy that I have done. So they started telling the names of the people who have actually won the awards. And it was at that time, prize money was a big thing. Only few competitions, there was prize money. So it was a tough competition. It was a little third prize. I was expecting, chalo theek hai, I may get a third prize. So I told third prize, my name is not there. So I was like, theek hai, third prize hi mere ko milna tha, but it's not there. They told second. When they told first, it was my name. I was sitting somewhere, like you guys are sitting, I was sitting somewhere like that. And for 2-3 seconds, I couldn't believe that that was my name. Then I stood up, went to that place, I got the award. So now you can relate this with the 6 minds that Arunji told. So once I got this award, then I got the feeling that I can do it. Now I can dream big. So when I was a grade 6 student, I won the award and was so happy getting that. The second thing that happened to me was, I want to create more. I want to become a creator, but I was not focused, or I haven't decided Either I want to become a doctor or an engineer or anything like that. I just want to become a creator. So during my high school days, I always tried to figure out what actually I want to become. Just like you. You guys are in 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. And then there was a second competition. So I was in 10th that time. So if you are good in maths and science, the next thing that happened to you is, if you are good in maths and science in 10th, so next thing that happened to you is, you enroll for PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, right? Yes or no? So the same thing happened with me also. So I was good in maths and science in 10th, so Anil, you go for PCM. And if you go for PCM, the next race is IIT and NEET, right? So the next rat race was to get into IIT. So my dream was, at that time my dream was, and I don't call it as a dream, right? But at that time I was calling it as a dream, that I want to get into IIT. Anyhow, I just want to get into an IIT. Because people told me if you are a creator, then you have to be in IIT, then you can create anything. So in 11th, there was a second competition, and it was a national competition. It was a National Editor Award by Dainik Bhaskar. So this time I told, last time I was good in campus, this time I will be the best in India. So this was my second dream, and these are all short-term dreams. So I went to the office, the newspaper office. I took the newspaper. I went back to my home. I started designing the newspaper. So they used to give a newspaper size papers, and you have to fill it and then submit it. Took the newspaper, went back to home, started writing. My father came, told me, "You are in which class?" I told, "Grade 11. Yeah, that's so. So he was just trying to tell me, since you are in 11th, you must focus on studies, not on this. He took the newspaper, he tore it out, and he put it in the dustbin. I cried that day because I want to create something. I couldn't explain it to my father. Next day, I went to the same office, newspaper office. I took a second newspaper. This time I filled it, but I never told anyone that I am doing this. 2 months after this, my father came and told me, in the newspaper he told me, "Is this Anil Pradhan you?" So on the newspaper there was written, "Congratulations," and these were the students, those who got selected, those who will be getting the award. So when I was in 11th, I always also have one more dream. I want to fly, because I always see this aeroplane coming up. So I always wanted to fly. So when he saw this my name here, the next thing that happened was we all were called to New Delhi. That time for us, New Delhi was a big thing for my father, for my entire family. So it gave me immense pride when I took my father to that place. And from that day, my father's father became my biggest supporter. So this was the award that I got, and the award I got it from the General of Army, Dr. V.K. Singh. So my father was super happy because he was a head constable in CRPF, and I am getting an award from the General of Army. As time passed by, you must be thinking, story is really good. Bright student, must have got IIT. But I didn't get into IIT. It was like frustration, scare. I didn't get into IIT, what will happen to me? My life is ruined. And all that thought start pouring in. After that, I got into a state government college, one of the best state government colleges of Odisha. And I started reading there. For 6 months, I was just trying to figure out, is everything gone, or is there something I can still do? Because is IIT the only thing that can be done? So what happened next is, I went to the story of APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and I read, is he from IIT? Is he from a good background? So I started comparing my life with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And then what stuck my mind is, if that man can do it, why can't I? मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, हो जाएगा. It's difficult, but it's doable. If he can do it, why can't I? That thing came inside me. So when we were in college, we came up with an idea. What idea? We told people, Hirakud Dam, there is a big problem because it's the longest dam. Siltation happens here, and there is no way you can detect the siltation. So we'll design a rocket. When we told people that we'll design a rocket, first thing they told, are you gone mad? Pagal ho gaya hai kya? So the next thing that I have to do is, I have to find out people, those who are actually mad. So I found a team in the entire college, those who told care, yes, this is possible. The next job was to find out those people who told that this is possible. So we found those people out there. We went to the VC and told, sir, we want this kind of project to happen. So he asked me, what's your branch, by the way? Because we don't have aerospace in our college. So he started telling me, so he told ki, you must be from mechanical. I told, no, sir. You must be from electronics. No, sir. Electrical. No, sir. Civil. He started laughing aloud. You are from civil. How could you build this thing? After this incident, we took help from a lot of people. We found a lot of mentors around who can actually help us build this. Next job was to find out people, those will help us, actually help us. When we go to one person, he will either laugh on us or will tell ki, chalo, we can just do it. So we have to first found who will tell, yes, we can do it. So we found a lot of gurus there. And then, you know what happened? We launched the rocket. And we did 4 successful launches. And you know, this is for the first time in entire Asia, any team is doing something like this. Any school, any college team is doing something like this. Then what happened is, I was always a very curious guy, but I was having a fear of books. I was having a fear of books. How many of you have fear of books? Good. So I too have a lot of fear of books because I couldn't understand anything. And whenever I go into the class, I was like, "Acha, ye kyun pad rahe hain? Why are we learning history? Why are we learning geography?" So I have less or no motivation towards those books. But eventually what happened is, I started learning why those chapters are actually required when I was building those projects. And eventually I came to know that everything has a purpose. Every subject has a purpose. I was good in creating something. I was good in skilling. And the thought that was there in my childhood was to build something for these students who was there in school, who were there in my village. I got a good education. I went out. What will happen to them? Can we build something? And my childhood dream was, so all the dream that I told you before was small dreams. I want to fly. I want to be in the first page of the magazine. Okay, I have these kind of dreams, tons of dreams. But the dreams with purpose, I have 2 dreams with purpose. The first one was, how can I make sure that the students, those who are there in villages, can actually get good education? And the second one is, there would be a lot of students like Anil Pradhan. Those who don't love learning the way it is done. So I have to do something. I have to change this way. These were my 2 dreams with purpose. And eventually what happened is, I tried almost everything. You can see me welding here. You can see the robot which actually climbs the tower. And for all those things, I got a lot of awards and everything. Now the thing was, after I got all these awards, these achievements and everything, you get into the jobs. So after my 4 years of learning as a BTech student in VSSUT Burla, I was offered jobs. Like, my father was a head constable, so we are from a very middle class family. So getting a job in a MNC like this, so it's like, हाँ ये तो कर ही लेगा. He will go and join. But the purpose in my life was something else. So I didn't go to join. My father and mother, they actually told me, we have invested a lot of money on you. Why are you doing this? So I told them, a lot of things like this happened, and there is a strong purpose. I really want to do this. So what I did is, I came back to the same place where this entire thing started. I came back to my village and started a school. So this was the school. We started with only 3 students. When we started this school, a lot of people come and started laughing. Anil, what are you doing? You have only 3 students. And you are a graduate from a good school, from a good university. You would have gone for a good MNC. Why are you doing this? And you are running a school with only 3 students. So since the conviction was there that I can bring a big change, I started only with 3. I'll tell, these are the stepping stone to success. So this is the first step. If I've thought I can't do anything, if I would have thought I don't have 1,000 students, I don't have 1 lakh students, I couldn't have done this. It was like, if 3, let's do it 3. So 3 became 30, 30 became 100, 100 became 300. So what we basically do in this school, so since we don't have any resources, I literally have no idea on how to run a school. I literally have no idea how to register a school. I didn't have any idea how this entire thing works. But one thing that was there in mind was a good intent, that, yeah, really I want to do this. So you can see, those furnitures are made from bamboo. So we made those furnitures, since those things were not available locally in our place, so we made those bamboo benches from bamboo. Eventually, we have this classroom. So we didn't have money for those, we didn't have fund for creating a classroom. So we thought of, why not we have tin sheds where students can actually sit. So what is required? If we don't have walls, we don't require light, we do not require fan. So we don't want walls there. So what were the subjects? So the subjects were something like, this one is the Tod Ford Jod lab. So what a student is doing here is, he's drilling a tire. And the next lab was Kabad se Jugaad. So they are making something out of the waste. So I told you, the problem was we didn't have furnitures. Then we have tons of furnitures and learning spaces. So this is how the learning space looks like. All made of tire. So every problem, you can look it as a challenge, take it as a challenge and find a solution for it. So the solution is this. Second thing happened was, I just wanted to learn them the 21st century skills. So we introduced coding and robotics as well. And you can see this. What is this, guys? Robot. So this is kind of a humanoid, which they build on, and we are having a very good signature step here. What happened next is, a lot of students, they tried to figure out what can be done there in village. So these students, they actually saw a machine who is actually taking out all the debris from oceans. And they also want to create something like this. They came up. The issue was, we didn't have those equipment with us. But the best part was, we have something which is natural and available everywhere. That is the bamboo. If you put bamboo in water, it will always float. So they created a bamboo robot. So the entire chassis of the robot was made from bamboo. So these kind of projects the student created. Remember, I didn't get into IIT. So what happened next was, these 10 students from IIT, they came to my village, only to learn how this entire thing works. So chase your dreams, or dreams will also chase you if you keep chasing them. If you keep chasing your dreams, dreams will also chase you. They will come to you. So see, they came to the village, they're on a raft, they're working with students, they're learning a lot of things. Next big goal was, if I can impact the lives of only 300 students, how can I impact more students? I always want to be a creator, but initially I also found out I also want to be an entrepreneur. I want to take it to masses. This is where we started the Young Thinker Academy, where we wanted this to be in the hands of every student out there in India or around the world. And this is where I came to Chennai. I still remember in 2021 I came to Chennai to take mentorship from Shri Anil Pradhan to actually start Young Thinker Academy. Because in a life of a student or a man or a woman, anyone, a mentor is actually required to show you the path, to give you the right acceleration. Then in 2021, we were there you must be knowing in 2021, we have this COVID pandemic. Everyone was inside their houses. So all our centers actually got stuck. Because none of the students could come to our centers. And when we started in this village, a lot of people actually asked me, why are you doing this? These are village kids. They can't do anything. The kids out there in the private schools, they know a lot more. They have a lot more resources. They can do a lot of things. I told them, all the students are same. It's about resources. If you can have the right resources there, they can actually do it. In 2021, we have this dream that will take 10 students to NASA, not for a visit, but to compete in the NASA's Human Exploration Rover Challenge. Whenever we go to anyone and tell this, even in 2019, I told this in a TV interview. People started laughing and telling, yeah, this is impossible. अभी तक किसी ने नहीं किया है. Nobody has done yet. How would you do? Look at this kind of students that we are teaching. So in 2021, we told you this is the right time when we should do it. Because it's this pandemic, we have ample amount of time, and why can't we do it? So we circulated a application where we asked students to actually put forward the application. The application was done by a student. She's Reena Bagha. This story is about Reena Bagha. So Reena actually gave the application where she wrote, I am working in a workshop. My father died. I am working in a workshop to earn money for my mother. And I want to join this team. When we interviewed her, we asked, you are a girl, you can't do it. Because we want to test student. We asked them, you are a girl, you can't do it. The answer what she gave was, sir, I am a girl, I know I am a girl, but if I can work in a workshop, I can work with this team also and I can create something. I told the kind of welding that you are doing here is totally different from the kind of welding we will be doing there. What to that she responded, 6 months it took me to learn this. I can learn any other kind of thing in 2 months. So if you can teach me, I can actually do it. We took the girl. See this Reena working in a roadside welding shop. Second one is Reena working in our workshop. Not just Reena, we also took a cycle mechanic also. So these kids they went through an intensive process of learning, motivating, and then creating a rover. So you can see they are welding and doing all that stuff. So you see, there are a lot of challenges inside. The challenge was, sir, pehle NASA gaye ho kya? Have you seen NASA? Do you have a US visa? The challenge was, this is impossible. These kids can't do it. The challenge was, there was no facility to actually do this. The challenge was fund. So the challenges are numerous. But one thing that was there in our mind was a dream. That yes, we can do it. We would take it. So we went through the entire process. What happened was, we came up with this rover, this wonderful rover you can see here. This is completely built by students like you. So right from ideating, to designing, to building, to welding, and then presenting it. And every student was different. Some is good in welding, someone is good in leadership, someone is in designing. So try to find out what is good in every child. And when every child who knew what is good in them, they actually outperformed and actually made sure that we win at NASA Rover Challenge. So in 2021, this team won an award, won World Rank 3 at NASA Rover Challenge. And this is for the first time in the history any Asian under-19 team is doing so. But after winning this entire thing, one thing that was still lagging was, in 2021, this event happened online because of the pandemic. We always wanted to go there and compete. So the next thing was, how do we do this? See, this team is also awarded by Honorable Education Minister. So so next time we thought of we will take the team to NASA. Meanwhile, the team members who were there with us in the 2021 team, we take a look in what they actually did in future. This was Kailash. I told you he was a cycle mechanic. Now he is a product developer. Now he is a teacher in an ITI. So he's teaching there in ITI. For this 2021 team, I also received the National Youth Award. So see, what I'm trying to say here is, I always want to be in the cover photo. I always wanted to be in the cover photo. But the purpose was totally different. The purpose was big. And these dreams were small dreams. So once you aim to the big dream, all those small dreams will fall inside. You will be everywhere. In 2023, this year, we had a challenge that we have to create a team who can actually go to NASA and compete in this event. So we selected 6 more team members. So these were the 6 team members whom we selected. You want to know from where all these students came? You want to know their background? You remember this photograph? The photograph that I have showed you earlier? The school photograph, the initial students? He is one of them. He is Basudev Bhoi. He lives in his family still lives in a hut, the Kacha house. And this child was a part of the team who went to the NASA Rover Challenge 2023. We selected him. The next thing was to build this entire thing. So this time, we had also changed the material. So we have to make sure that these students actually learn. So these students came together, started building this entire thing, right from designing, how do you ideate, how do you design, then how do you manufacture. They did the entire things themselves. And see, where are they now? They went to NASA. This April, they went to the NASA Rover Challenge. This team went there. So now you must be thinking, sir, it is very easy, sir. You can actually go and, in 2021, it was, you were there in your village, you participated, and this time it would be easy. But the tough part was, these students were actually from different states. So these students have to form a team who can collaborate and work together to actually build this entire thing. For example, Basu, he lives in a village. He didn't have a lot of his ID cards. So he have to create his ID card. He didn't have a passport. So the problem started arising. When he went to the passport office, he have 3 different documents with 3 different names. In one name it is Basudev. In one name it was Basudebo. One name without A. The problem, the challenge here is to make sure he get the passport on time. So the entire team of students actually work to make sure this guy actually get the passport in time. So challenges will always be there. It's up to you how you look to it. When we went to NASA, but we couldn't find out a way how our rover will go to NASA. The reason was there was a lot of documentation required. I still remember last night when we were flying, I got a call from Arunji telling ki rover ka kya hua? So I didn't have any answer to it. Like, I couldn't figure out, ho hi nahi raha, you please help us. When we went to NASA, we were there, but our rover was not there. And when we walked inside, we could see teams, international teams coming there with big trailers. With big trailers they are coming. And we are only 6 students and 2 of us, I and Vaishali, standing there. The students are like, sir, inse kaise compete karenge? How would you compete with them? We are just a team from a village. We manufactured the entire thing in a very small facility. They are in this big trailer. The trailer itself is a lab. So how could we compete here? And we got our package delivered the same day. We're so happy. But once we opened the rover, we figured out during the transportation, one of the gears is actually not there. It broke. Now think, you have a big dream, you want to come to US, you want to have this rover, and on the same day, this happened. What will you do? So we have this conviction, आए हैं तो जीत के जाएंगे, आए हैं तो चला के जाएंगे. If we are here, we'll make sure it will work. What happened next was, these students rushed to the NASA team, requested them, you have a pit crew here, why not you help us build this entire thing? Build this gear. Why not you help us this thing? So see, the challenge which was looking as a challenge was actually a very good learning experience. These students couldn't get a chance to learn from those NASA engineers. The engineers were actually building those things there. We went there, make sure it works, and on the next day it started working. Not as effectively, but we are happy that at least our rover worked on that. The entire place. Not only this, we also won an award this time as well. 2 years, 3 awards. When we came back, so see, this is the rover that they have built, that they took, and this is the award that they got. This happened in April 2023. So though the story is still incomplete, because I'm still there, we're still doing a lot of things. So what I'm trying to say here is, if this little kid from a village can do this, can now impact more than 2 lakh students, can stand before you. If he can do it, so can you. If I can do it, you can. If I can do it, you can? If I can do it, you can? Wonderful. So this is the entire motive behind this entire talk. And I always love working with students, and I really learned a lot of things today. And there was a kid out there who could figure out this is a brain. Lovely. I'm always amazed by these kids. And thank you so much for the Intellect team, Ullas team for inviting me. Thank you so much.